Well, good morning, everybody. So it is the morning after I actually did my first Dermaroller session. I had a few things going on last night where I was like, I can't do this and explain what's going on. So I thought I would do the session and get a little bit of B-roll to, illustrate what needs to go on. And then I thought I would wait until this morning to elaborate on that. So what I did was I ended up doing the session on my beard and also on my forehead. You can see my forehead's still a little bit red, and the feeling that I kind of have is my face feels almost as if it was sunburn. It's just where it's like a very faint sting. I'd say that's got to do with the Dermaroller creating the micro injuries, and now my skin is beginning the healing process. But nonetheless, it didn't turn out too bad. I was quite red after it, both on my beard and on my forehead. Overall pretty simple and easy. So in this part of the video, I just wanted to explain just a few important things about when you're doing dermarolling. So first of all, needle length is a really important thing to take into account. With the Dermaroller study that we saw from the International Journal of Trichology, the dermarollers that they used in that study were 1.5 millimeters in length. And the reason that they're that long for using it on something like the scalp is because the skin on our scalp is a lot deeper than the skin on our face. And I did see in the research phase as well a really good video from the Hair Loss Show with two doctors here from Australia. I can't remember their exact names right now. They elaborated that the effectiveness of dermarolling actually happens when the needles can reach the bulge area of the skin. So that's around where the hair follicle kind of sits and where the hair growth cycle occurs. So in the scalp, 1.5 millimeters is great for that. But when we're using dermarollers on skin that is thinner, i.e. our face or our beards, something shorter is far more practical for that kind of thing. And most beard rollers that are on the market, they'll be about 0.25 millimeters to 0.5 millimeters. The one that I have is 0.5 millimeters. Yeah, I don't feel like my skin's too damaged. Like I was just saying before, it just feels like very slight sunburn. And I'm guessing the more I do it, the more used to it my skin will get. The other thing to cover is frequency. So how often should you be doing this? Well, it's recommended anywhere from 2 to 3 times per week. I'm gonna start off slow because I've never done this type of thing before. I'm just gonna start by doing it twice a week. I'm gonna go on Mondays and Fridays. Yesterday was a Friday, so we've begun the process, and then on Monday, I'll do my second session, and then the following Friday, I'll do it again. And the reason you shouldn't be doing it daily or anything, and you should be leaving a gap in between each session, is because like we've discussed, dermarolling is causing tiny injuries. So just like when you're at the gym and you tear the muscle, you need to give it a couple of days to repair and then work it again so it gets stronger and stronger. And that's kind of the same idea with this. So spacing it out properly is good. The other thing to take into account too is obviously hygiene. So these are little needles that are penetrating the skin. They're going underneath the surface layer of the skin, and it's very, very important that your skin and the dermaroller are clean before you attempt this. So when it comes to cleaning, using something like isopropyl, I think that's how you say it. Isopropyl, that's it. Isopropyl alcohol is a really good solution for cleaning your dermaroller. What you want to do before use is dip your dermaroller into, a pot of isopropyl alcohol for about, 60 to 90 seconds. And then after that, I just took it out, put it upside down, let it dry off a little bit. And whilst that was happening, then I cleaned my face. Cleaning your face thoroughly is a good idea too, because if you've got any dirt and gunk already sitting on the surface of the skin, when you puncture it, you could risk pushing that gunk into the skin, which can cause all sorts of yucky infections and crap like that. Then when it comes to actually rolling it on your beard, it's recommended that anywhere from 10 to 20 rolls on the areas that you're trying to treat is best. Now, again, because this was my first time doing this, I just went with 10 rolls in each section. And you also have to take into account the direction that you're rolling in. So for example, if we're looking at this side of my face here, we've got vertical, diagonal, and horizontal rolling that we need to do. And that's 10 rolls on each area you're trying to treat. So if I'm going vertical and I do my 10 rolls here, I then need to move along and do 10 rolls here, and then move along and do another 10 rolls here. If I'm doing diagonal, I'll do 10 rolls this way, then move up, 10 rolls this way. And then when I'm going horizontal, I want to go 10 rolls, 10 rolls, 10 rolls. That's how we want to make it work. And afterwards, it is normal for your skin to feel a little bit agitated because you've just pretty much injured it. A little bit of redness is known to be normal. Yeah, it's pretty much as simple as that. And then after you finish your session as well, it is really important to sterilize the derma roller again. So popping it back into isopropyl alcohol is a good idea too. This time for a little bit longer, 3 to 5 minutes should be enough to kill all of the germs on the derma roller. And then after you finish with that, storing it back in your case so it's very clean and sterile and ready for the next use. And by sterilizing it again before you use it, that way you're making sure all bacteria is definitely dead and gone before you're putting it into your skin. You want to kind of treat it like a toothbrush. You don't want it going into all of these different dirty places from bag to place to place. It's just going to pick up more bacteria. Keeping it clean is probably the most important thing if you're going to go through with this. So yeah, the last thing I wanted to touch on as well is aftercare. Everything I've read pretty much indicates using like a beard serum or something soothing on the skin is best practice to help soothe the skin afterwards. I did also read that you shouldn't clean your skin again for a minimum of 4 hours after doing derma rolling, okay? So once you've done your whole face, if that's what you're gonna do with this thing, like I am, then you should wait about 4 hours and then you can clean your face again and off you go. During the next 3 months, I will be, documenting here and there, just having little sessions, maybe giving a look at my progress. That was the other thing I wanted to mention. It is also important to make sure you do get some sort of before and afters, all right? There's no point in going through with something like this if you're not gonna measure results. So I did get a little pan of what it currently looks like now. And then as the 6 months unfolds, I'm gonna compare the footage that I got last night with the footage that I get in 6 months' time. And I'm hoping that the density is gonna pick up in my face. But again, we won't know until we get there. So yeah, the next check-in that I'll be dropping should be around December. When I asked Google what date it would be in 3 months, she said the 27th of December. Now that is around Christmas time. I don't know how on the ball I'm going to be with content making at that time. So my first check-in might go live sometime in January, which will at least be over 3 months, and we'll be able to see if anything's happened. And obviously we'll continue on with the journey. That's pretty much in a nutshell my first session. Feeling good about it. It wasn't too tricky. It didn't take too long. And I'm looking forward to doing that check-in. All right. Now we're going to flick back to my other setting and I'll wrap up this video. Thanks for watching.